Right. Can we get a quick audio check, folks? While I figure out why it's not showing the game. Oh, my word. Why are you not showing the game? Try it now. Yay, we got the game. There we go. Good. So you can all hear me okay. Excellent. Right, well, welcome to the stream, everybody. It's good to be back. So yesterday was the release of West Somerset Railway for Train Sim World. And it's so far I'm seeing lots of positive feedback. If you've got any issues that you find with it at all, then do let us know via the usual support channels. But overall, it's been very, very well received. I've had lots of really good feedback, and if you've got great feedback, pass that back to us too. The team really like to hear what you liked and so forth about the product. So that's really good for them as well. So thank you very much for all the feedback we've received so far. Top question I'm seeing is West Somerset Railway coming to Xbox One? The answer is yes, it is coming to Xbox One. And my notes here say without too much delay, but I don't have a date for you. So bear with us. There'll be more news at some point in the future, but it is coming to Xbox One. So I'm certainly looking forward to that. The other launches today, we've got, this is planned launches. Someone can perhaps, Martin there can confirm if these happened. There's a patch going out for the Pendolino on Train Sim 18. And there's a new DLC, the HX D3D, going out as well. So, which is a Chinese locomotive. So it's some good news there. And then don't forget, recently there's also been the Black 5 from Bossman Gaming, which I know has gone down absolutely fantastically with Steam enthusiasts. If you haven't seen it yet, then A, are you living under a rock? And B, come out of the rock and join in and have some fun with the Black 5. And similarly, Soldier Summit. There was an extension for Soldier Summit released. Is it Soldier Summit? I might have got that wrong. Martin, confirm for me. There was an extension for the route in Utah that was released this week, I think, as well, or last week. So there's been tons of new content coming out for TS18, and there's lots more planned as well. The Salt Lake City extension, that's the one, isn't it, Sage Funcom? Right, so the other thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the news. I'm reading the news, and tonight on the news, I'm going to read this stuff out now. We're going to play a bit of West Somerset Railway, and then for people who join a bit later on, I will go back through this again. And by all means, if you see people asking questions on the chat, feel free to fill them in with the fantastic news that you've been hearing. So the stream schedule. So we are aiming to be streaming on the channel on the first and last Friday of each month, and we're going to be going with a mix of Xbox and PC content. And the next stream after this one is going to be on the next one is next week, Friday the 1st of June, on Mixer, possibly also on Twitch, but definitely on Mixer. And we've got huge announcements to make, but I can't give you any hints beforehand. All I would say is that good stuff. So keep an eye out. Come and join me on Friday the 1st of June, and it should be a good stream. And then little tiny news for those of you that have, I don't know if anyone have noticed all these GDPR announcements coming in your email. So last time when we was on the stream here, I gave you an overview of what that meant for us. Just wanted to say it's been updated on all of the on TS World and TS18 now. So it probably doesn't even need to worry too much about that, but it has been updated. It's basically relating to the sign-in, the way that you sign in to create Dovetail live accounts and so forth. Essentially, is what's been affected there. So that's kind of the news. Just want to repeat then, West Somerset Railway definitely coming to Xbox One. Just bear with us. We'll have news for you as soon as we can. And then there's big news on Friday the 1st of June when we do a stream. So hopefully we'll be here for a couple of streams each month, and we'll keep you guys informed, answer your questions, and do what we can. So Blessed, there's no pricing details available yet, so I haven't got any information to share there. Okay, what are we going to start with? I think that I'm going to start with a scenario. Hands up if you've got... Sorry, no, not hands up if you've got this. Hands up if you're thinking about getting West Somerset Railway for Train Sim World. I want to know, get a show of hands. Unfortunately, I can't see the Mixer chat, so if you're all watching this on Mixer, I do apologise. However, Martin is on Mixer monitoring the chat. He can pass across any information. I've put it sit there and it's just sitting there, spinning away, not loading anything, so yay. So welcome to everybody on Mixer as well as on Twitch. Strongly thinking, says Train Lover. Yes for PC, says Muracom. West Somerset has the grog. Yeah, yes, of course it does, Moggy. You know that, Moggy. Moggy is Mr. Gronk, by the way, folks. Right, okay, let's do a scenario. I am thinking that... I'm trying to remember. I think finishing up looks a bit interesting. Let's do finishing up. You can see how planned I am. Got it already, MA Stays? Excellent. Last service has arrived. Using the Class 09, place the coaches in the yard and run the locomotives back to Williton. So here we are in Bishop's Lydiard. It's 6:20 and we've got the glorious Super Gronk. Let's turn the light on, or turn the master switch for the lights on, and let's get all our shunting lights set up. Operate all the lights individually. If you're running this to do shunting, you should operate all 4 lights. And if you are running it just to do mainline operation, then you just put a white light on the leading edge. So if you're driving this way out, then you just put that white light on. You wouldn't put any of the others on. So for passenger services and the like. But we're doing shunting, so... Oh yeah, got a lot. Got junctions to change. Let's get back in the loco. There's no news on tracker or rail driver compatibility yet, folks. I've seen a couple of questions about that. Plans for next DLC? Many of them. Ron Wirral, you picked it up today? Well, I hope you enjoy it. Whoops. Getting a bit ahead of myself there, speeding up too much. Sprinter, just got your 1-year-old niece toddler over to sit on your lap. Wonder if you can convert her into a railway enthusiast. Very easily. Very easily. Look, see, just show her the Gronk. That's all you need to do. Look at that Gronk. Amazing. Alright, rather than climbing down, I'm just going to use the map view. That gets us back to the loco. Speed is shown in kilometers per hour, is it? Okay, let me just change that. This one? No, this one. Ah, this one. There we go, measurement units. Imperial. Is that better? Why would you use anything other? Hey there, SimUK, how are you doing? Oh. That didn't happen. I was supposed to tab through that, wasn't I? Try that one more time. Too busy chattering. Not enough paying attention to what you're doing. I know. Just whiz around this bit, get this bit done. This is going to catch me out on a number of occasions, because on a number of occasions you have to tab with this scenario. Blame chat, absolutely. It's all chat's fault. No, got signals. There's points that are over here. Let's all pretend that didn't happen. Yep. Or blame Moggy, actually. Just blame Moggy. It's all his fault. Cold and dark, Antonis. How do you mean? The locos can already be... If you do the tutorial, they're already cold and dark, and you can see the startup procedure. It's not particularly... There's not a lot to it. It's mostly this lever, to be honest. No, it's not a GTX 1080 train lover. I can't actually remember what spec this machine is. Catch points are just normal points, Moricom, so yeah, if the catch point is set incorrectly, then you'll just get pushed off the track. Or at least they're just implemented as regular points anyway. The end result is just as bad. Oops. Slightly overshot. I've drove off the end of what, Dictator Dono? Do you mean the catch points? It just derails the train. Alright, we've got to proceed to continue. Antboy, West Somerset. Will West Somerset DLC on Xbox be part of Founders? I'm not sure what you mean. It'll be... So West Somerset is coming to Xbox. More than that, I haven't got any other detail news for you, but I did want to let everyone know that it's definitely coming to Xbox. We do have a stream on the 1st of June. I can't tell you what the content of that stream is, partly because I don't entirely know myself. But I am told it's going to be an epic stream with lots of cool stuff in it. So come along to the stream on the 1st of June and we'll hopefully have some good news for you. Well, I'm sure we'll have some good news for you. coupled. And couple the coaches. Fred Bucksworthy, you live at Minehead. Is it coming to Xbox One? West Somerset Railway is coming to Xbox One. Get the duff out of the way. Go and put it in this siding over on the left-hand side here. TSW, will there be any surprises for Xbox One at E3? I don't have any news about E3 at all. The smoke on the 47 stubby, yes, I'm aware. I became aware of that yesterday, so it's on the team's list to look at. That point, good to go. Can you change the number on the 47? It auto spawns randomly with different ones, so every 47 that spawns is different. Now the main ones for the scenarios should be D1661 and D4107 for the 09, but other 47s and 09s that you see will have different numbers. There's a range of different numbers that have been added just so there's a variety. Matt, are you playing the scenario? It's me that's playing it, yes. Hence why I spatted earlier on. Maybe that's the solution, get someone else to play the scenario for me. Antonis, I don't understand your question. Seems like the 09 is a bridge between Steam and Diesel. Maybe. I mean, other than the COD rods, I don't think it shares much with the Steam engines. But visually, I guess there's an obvious comparison there. Hey there, Chris. How are you doing? Right, that waypoint up ahead of us again. BM Ribeiro, no. No news on rail driver support yet, I'm afraid. Is it easy to control, Fred Muxworthy? Yeah, I'm basically just using the keyboard to control it. It's fairly standard keys. AD for throttle up and down, WS for reverse, forwards and backwards. And then I'm using the square brackets for the loco brakes. Right, let's go back now here. And this is where I potentially end the game again if I don't remember to contact the signal box. Stubby, how do you mean the flashing lamp on the back of the engine? Oh, it's set up in this scenario to put a lamp on the back. SimUK, it's not so much that it's not a priority to do external controllers, it's more that there are a lot of other things which are higher priority. It's an academic difference, I guess, but... Is there any AWS on this train? No, there isn't. The AWS is on the 47, as is DSD, but there's no AWS on this one. Wait for the buffers to compress. There we go. Get some of these coaches. Weather options are the same as all the other routes, Chris. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but it's the same as the other routes. Uriel P91. Oh, Shunter's the only actual loco you've ever driven in real life, so love the DLC. Nice one. I'm glad it's not you. It's working for you. Take these forwards. Folks, if you're on Xbox, particularly viewers on Mixer, don't worry. There is going to be news about all sorts of stuff, and that'll be on the stream next week. Is it next week? Xbox is far from forgotten. Possibly overspeeding a little bit. Definitely far enough forward. Right, where are we putting these? Up there, in that siding. Raspberry Pi. You want an Etch-a-Sketch version, Danny? Just put these coaches in here. TSW 1973, yeah. American Steam would be really good, wouldn't it? There's nothing to announce, I'm afraid, at the moment. And we go forwards again. Right, let's go back. Need to change that switch there and go back. We get the last coaches. Uriel, there's no wagons, unfortunately. It's just the coaches. How do you get the map up? Press the 9 key to get the map up. Or if you're on Xbox, it's the back button. Big Dog, yeah, aware of the buffer collision. And yes, the team have an idea of what they need to do to fix it. Yep, station pilot style, exactly. Yeah, there's no Castle Douglas signalman here now. Hyperloop antennas. No Hyperloop coming. I think I can quite safely announce there's no Hyperloop coming. Right, before we couple up to these, we need to stop short and switch the couplings over on the coach. Better. Right, let's get coupled. Mark, there's lots of routes planned and in the works. Nothing I can talk about, I'm afraid. Suffice to say, we've got you covered. Yes, Big Dog. There's no, you don't get the screw-link couplers in between Mark 1s. Only the hooks, not the hoops, essentially. Right, where are we going? I think I need to cross the line of wires. Yep, cross tracks and head over onto the left-hand road. Mr. 395, there's nothing announced, but yeah, there's nothing announced at the moment. There's regular updates though, so it wouldn't surprise me. I can't announce anything at the moment, Cammy. The train tucked in and we can reverse it in. Right. There we go. Reverse that up. So while I'm reversing up here, just a reminder, West Somerset is definitely coming to Xbox One, but there's no news yet on dates for that, so bear with us. Released today the Pendolino patch for TS18 and the new HXD 3D Chinese loco. And streams, we're going to be aiming for the first and last Friday of each month, doing a mix of Xbox and PC content. So trying to get into a rhythm of regular streams. And keep everyone updated with what's happening, with more news and what's happening with releases. So, and the next one on the 1st of June is going to be a biggie. So definitely come and join us. What you've got to remember is that this part of the yard down here is all downhill and it levels up, so you have to push your way back up the hill and then all of a sudden it runs away if you're not careful. Thank you, Azrox. Where is it? Is it in this end one? This is the end one, isn't it? Right. Go forwards to there. Got to deal with this 47 last. So those of you that have got West Somerset, what's your favourite bits? Is it possible to run around trains and services? Yeah, the services employ a couple of variations. Some of the services use train swap out. So there's for example, at Minehead, some of the services you'll arrive and then a different 47 will take over the train for the return journey. And for other services, so for example, when you get to Bishop's Lydeard, then you'll do a run round, and all the 09 services do run rounds. Alright, I think we're good to go back. No, we're not. Because I've got to go back to there. But up. Is TS1 being phased out? Not at all, Chris. Not at all. There's still lots of new content coming out for TS1. There's lots of people still playing it. Yeah, multiplayer's still on the plan as a rocks, but I think there's more tech that needs to be built for the game and more content variety to make it to where when multiplayer comes along, we'll be able to do more with it. Kieran, I think the team had one trip a while ago when we did the TS1 version of the route. Plus then there's a lot of reference then to Google Earth and so forth. And lots of photographs. I mean thousands of photographs. There was a separate audio trip as well. Yes, there was, yes. Can an NVIDIA 750 run TS World? Yep. In fact, some of the dev team are actually still using 750, albeit 750 Ti's. Sound is something that's going to be is sort of on our minds, Ron Wirral. In the meantime, if you, I have Peachlick, are you there? If you can post a link to your guide for editing the engine.ini, there's a couple of settings in there which you can use to boost the volume. So I think a lot of people have been saying actually makes quite a nice difference. But no, the audio team are definitely aware of the concerns that have been raised. I've got no announcements on French route, I'm afraid, French guy. Phil, you might need to get Martin to give you a permission. I don't know whether there's link protection on this channel. You want to run the Gronk on the corridor? Shimmering of the graphics, Stubby. A lot of that is down to TAA, so try switching to FXAA and see how you get on. But yes, I know what you mean. Azerox, yeah, editing tools are definitely still on the horizon. There's a lot of complexity there, but they're definitely on the horizon. Once again, for those of you watching on Mixer, I do apologise that I'm not seeing anything that you're saying. I've loaded up Mixer on a web browser to be able to get you the chat, but it's just not come up. I don't know why. A2 Tommy, this is a scenario called finishing up. Got to run around now. Oop. Slight pauses on GW. I'm not sure, Chris. Maybe try switching back to FXAA and see how you get on, but it doesn't sound like it. Forgot we're going downhill again. I don't think there's a way of toggling motion blur on Founders Edition, no. That's a good shout, actually, Stubby. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't set a frame rate limiter, so if you press Escape and go into here and into, I think, Advanced, yeah, set this max FPS to something you can realistically and regularly achieve. So this machine gets regularly over 60, so I've capped it to 62. If you're only getting, say, 45, 50, maybe cap it at 40 or 35 or 30 or something. Find a level, because a constant flow of FPS is much more important than FPS, which is spiking all over the place. If you've got an FPS which is 60 to 120 to 60 to 120, it actually feels more jarring than if it was a constant 45, for example. So, yeah, have a look at your Fmax, you limit your FPS and remember you can use F3 on the PC to toggle the FPS counter and find out roughly what kind of FPS you generally get and then cap it so that it doesn't ever peak above it. You don't really get much benefit for that peak. It just makes the regular then look bad. There's always going to be more trains needed, Mark. There's always going to be more trains needed. We're getting there. With every release, there's more trains. Trains, unfortunately, they take quite a long time to produce. The trains at the moment are starting to take as long as routes to produce. Stubby, what are my plans for the weekend? I'm going to be going to my dad's, mum and dad's place, and we are going to be doing model trains. So I'm going to be streaming myself the one-house model railway all weekend and playing trains. So, a change. Red Alex, yes, you can pretty much drive any train on. In service mode, you can drive any train on the route. In scenarios, basically the idea is you follow the instructions. Do you use a blueprint or a template? I'm not sure I understand the context of the question, because words like blueprint are very text specific. If you mean UE4 blueprint stuff, then UE4 blueprint stuff is definitely used. Right, let's couple to the loco. Oh, can you drive? No, you can't drive the 47 on GW on the Great Western Route yet. It is something I'm looking into because I know there's a lot of people want to do that, including me. No, there's a couple of technical hitches to get over. It's theoretically possible, but it's how I then deliver that software to you. So that's the challenge. So yeah, it's something we're looking into, definitely. Alright, now we're off to Willetton. And the number boards, yeah, like 1A43 or things like that. Yeah, they're head code numbers. Yeah, get a bit of speed up once we get out of the station area. One of the things I like about this scenario is the time of day. It's dusk, it's just the sun's going down, and the route's got a very different feel to it than the other scenarios. Any game crashes, X-Series Gamer? Not aware of any, no. There was a problem that some people experienced with the game locking up previously. That's fixed in the update that came with West Somerset Railway. So, if this was where the game froze rather than it crashing, if I remember rightly. that wasn't affecting everybody, but it's affecting a few. So if you're suffering from that, then that should be fixed now. Got the Hall to Willerton now. VSE instantly goes off and reboots. Oh wow. Right, let's put it in notch 4. Solar panels over there. Was the cab of the 47. I'm going to do a quick thing with the 47 after this. I'm not going to do a full run because we haven't got time for that, but I will do a little bit of a run through it. We'll do the first 2 or 3 stops of a passenger run. Zubek Vatic, when will the diesel update happen for other diesel electric trains in TS World? There's no date for that yet. The team are still working on it. They're working their way through the Great Western. I think the 66 is mostly done. The 43 is yet to be started. So it's a fairly extensive process. Yeah, it is underway, but there's no dates for releasing it yet. There's no announcements on Steam Locos, other than the fact that I definitely want to get them in at some point. But I thought it was much more important to get diesel electric simulation fixed than put Steam Loco simulation in and leave diesel electric simulation the way it was. If you see what I mean. Plus 800. Eight miles to Willerton, doing a stonking 19 miles an hour. I'm sure we'll get to all the trains at some point, Fabdiva. Couple of miles to the next. I guess we're going through the next station, so be Crocombe Heathfield, I guess, in a couple of miles. What do you mean a proper Gronk? You mean an 08? Or do you mean a 13? Oh, an 11, 13. After hooking up the failed train, your throttle isn't doing anything. That sounds like the brakes aren't set up correctly. You have to go to the other end of the HST, release the parking brake, set the tail lights up. Also make sure that all the brakes on the HST, I think, are in the released state, or in the state they're in default. It's either that or applied. I can't remember exactly, but what you're describing sounds like the brakes aren't releasing. How to turn the lights on in the passenger cabin in New York? You use the HEP option, HEP, head end power, on the back wall. Hello there, Dave. How are you doing? .1 miles to Crocombe Heathfield, where we were storming through. You can really feel the weight of this 47 though. You can see you can hear the announcements now at Crocombe Heathfield. Please stand back from the edge of the platform. Through train approaching. One little tip, by the way, for folks, when you're taking screenshots. One of the things I've found works really well on this route is this hedge line on the either side. So if you fly over to the other side of the hedge line, okay, this is a bad time of day because I can't see what I'm doing, but if you fly around here, what you can find is that there's normally enough hedge line to give you a really nice border around the picture, so that you can you can frame quite a nice image as the train goes by with a natural border around the outside. And most of the route that works on. I'm running TAA at the moment, Antonis. I have a sort of a love-hate relationship with TAA. Sometimes that's what I use and I love it, and other times I switch it off and I have to use something else. Got greens through Crocombe, which is good. Just notice my speed racing away because we're on the level ground again. Yeah, the signals change. See, that one's gone back on again. And it happens at the rear of the train rather than at the front of the train, like colour lights do. The trick is finding a half decent angle. True Sky from FSW and TSW soon. I have no idea at the moment, Ahmed. I'm not sure I understand the question, Chris, if you want to rephrase that. Alex Hurd, when will it be coming to Xbox? Other than saying it is coming to Xbox, I haven't got a date for you. Not yet. What are you on? Gentle 1% downgrade at the moment. How does the scenario made? So in the editing software for this, what you do is you create a formation, which is a bit like a consist, which is a consist. And in the formation file, you can specify what startup level it's at. So you can say this formation starts in a cold and dead situation, or this starts in a running and ready to go situation. And that's how you can do. So the 47 was started in a cold and dead situation. All the ones in the tutorials are in the same situation. A lot of the scenarios then are with it in the running situation, so that you can just get in and get going. It's very, very simple. Len Pain Crips, yep, it looks like you'll have to buy this. It does indeed. I can confirm that is true. What about service mode? Service mode can do exactly. It can be different as well. Service mode, you can have them. You can have some of them start quiet, cold and dark, and some of them start alive. You'll notice on NEC in the free roam, at least, I set some of those up to be cold and dark. Some of them are running. Although I think I set the service mode up to be all running. Yeah, the brakes are getting a bit warm at the moment, I should think, aren't they? Don't forget. Stogumba. Why is between 40 and 50 miles per hour blue? It's a bit of a historic legacy thing, but the idea is that that sort of marks going over the speed limit, but that's not the case for this particular loco. It's something that part of the HUD needs to be improved going forward. We're almost there. Well, I say we're almost there. 3 miles to go. And then I'll do a quick look at the 47. So I'm not looking directly at the camera, folks, as well. The screen's in that direction. So for those of you, just a quick recap, for those of you that weren't around earlier on in the stream, West Somerset Railway launched yesterday. Available now, it's 7 days, the total discount time is. So it's available $14.99 for the next 6 days, I think. And then it goes back up to its normal price of $19.99. Also out today, there's a big patch for the Pendolino, followed by the Chinese HXD3D logo, which came out. And then streams going forward, we're aiming for the first and last Friday of each month, which will then be a mix of Xbox and PC content. And the next stream will be Friday 1st of June on Mixer, possibly also on Twitch, haven't decided yet, definitely on Mixer. And we've got big announcements to make, but you'll have to come and watch us to find out what they are. Got a 15 mile per hour limit coming up on approach to Willerton. Let's have a quick look at the map. So we're going to be taking the left road and we're going here. So let's just update the switches if they need it. That should be all we need. I don't know the answer to that, Amazed Taste. I imagine they will be. I imagine that on the stream I'm going to be duplicating the stuff going out on social media. So make sure, Martin, are you there? Can you drop links to all of our social media channels? Just in case anyone is missing. Finally, a chance to cool those brakes off. There you go, Martin's just posting them onto Twitch, presumably on Mixer as well, just in case you haven't got the access to our Twitter and Facebook addresses. They are right there. And just again, folks, if you're watching on Mixer, I do apologise that I'm not able to read your comments. I did try. Mixer's open on the screen over here, but sadly doing absolutely nothing. So I can't actually see what you're saying. Any burning questions I haven't answered, give them to Martin and he will pass them on to me. Well, okay, I mean, like in the reflections, yeah, it does look really good, doesn't it? Unreal really does a nice job with the materials. How long did it take to create the 09? Honestly, I don't know the answer to that, Stubby, because it's been in production for quite a while, on and off. I ought to try and gather some stats, because a lot of people ask how long things take to make. I will try and gather some stats and see what sort of what I can come up with. DLC for a route in Canada, Nikoko. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love Canada. It's beautiful scenery over there. At some point, hopefully. Right, so we've arrived at Willerton. Let's just get in the cab, watch what we're doing for a change. Got a ground signal. Stubby, you just picked up the Great Western DLC. Nice. Enjoy. Turn the master switch off before checking all the lights were off. Working toilets. It's not high on the priority list, I'm afraid, Antonis. Right, what we'll do is we'll finish up now with, I just want to look at the 47, just show you what's going on with the 47, and then we'll finish up, and maybe another stream will run the 47. So let's pop back to the main menu. Just go into service mode, pick 47. Right. Let's get the brake into initial. Put the master switch in. Put that in forward. Brakes are sorting themselves out. Now up here, AWS cab changeover switch. Clear the AWS alarm. And then here we've got the DSD. So we can switch that on. Instrument lights. Head code switch. Tail light we don't need. Right, I think we're just about ready. Notice the 08, the 09 is sat here. If you were to sit here and wait, then it would run around the coaches and get ready to go the other way. And then this is the release loco. So what happens is the train 47 comes in. This one will go and couple up to it, and then the other one will reverse back up to here, ready for the next train. Nikoko, so you actually already don't gain points. Essentially, the way that it works in the scoring system now is that, so there is a score. Let me just find out where it's gone. There it is. So there is a score, but essentially the way that it works is that if you're exceeding the speed limit, you don't gain points. So you never lose points. You're always gaining points or not gaining points. So it essentially is the idea. Antonis, there's timetables for, I think, Rapid Transit and Great Western. There isn't one for West Somerset yet, or North East Corridor. The white flashing signal is because it's the signal protecting, or not so much protecting, it's letting me know that it's a level crossing. Funny you should say that, James. Funny you should say that. What we'll do is we'll just drive this one to Dunster, and then I'll show you the Mark 1s, and then we'll finish. 5-mile-an-hour limit coming into Dunster. It's nice having your external alarms working externally as well, isn't it? Oops, that slowed down too fast. So the 47 and the 09 both have the new diesel-electric physics simulation in them. So if you want to know how that's going to look, then this is a good place to have a look at them as well. Slowed down way too early. There's no release date yet on the physics update for GWE or CSX Heavy Haul yet. Keep an eye out on the usual channels. When there's news, we'll tell you. It's all in. Rather than worrying about the doors, let's just go ahead and have a look inside the Mark 1s. You can sit down on the chairs, as you come used to on other add-ons. You can open the windows. You can also go in the guards compartment. And even sit in the chair. And then over here you've also got light switches you can mess about with. And carry on through the coaches. there you go. That's the coaches. So there's 4 coaches. There's 2 BSOs. Two of these chocolate and cream coaches, BSO and TSO type, and then there's the blood and custards in BSO and TSOs as well. Well, there you go, folks. I think that will probably do for tonight's stream. So let me recap on the news one more time before we finish. We're Somerset Railway out now, $14.99 for about six more days, and then it goes back up to $19.99. So if you're going to pick it up, now is an excellent chance to do so. $14.99. It's an incredible price, in my humble opinion. TS18 also launched the Pendolino patch and the HXD3D Chinese loco. And then stream schedule coming up. We're aiming for the first and last Friday of every month with a mix of Xbox and PC content. And the next stream will be the 1st of June on Mixer. Possibly also on Twitch. Keep an eye out for news. We have big announcements to make on that stream, but no hints beforehand. So come and join us on the 1st of June. News on the usual social media as well. And that's it from me. Thanks very much for watching. Apologies finally one more time to those on Mixer who I have been utterly ignoring because I can't see what you're saying. And we'll let the AI drive that away. Bye bye. Yes, I will see you on the next stream on the 1st of June. All right, folks. Thanks very much indeed. Hopefully, I'll get Mixer fixed so I can see what everyone's saying. Yeah, I'll see you then. Cheers, everyone. Bye bye.